Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I've been seeing this like end of the year book question, end of the year book tag, something along those lines. I've been seeing a lot of like different versions. I think some people have done what is it called, like awards, like from their like reads and all that. I've seen that, but I was like, I feel like I haven't read a lot of books. I feel like I haven't done enough to like do like an award book. If I did, it would probably just only be like Fourth Wing. But I thought I could do like this book tag. Yeah, it's called End of the Year Book Tag. I saw Larry do it. I started doing it last year, but I wasn't really reading as much. I just started reading, so it's kind of like and then Destiny, I've seen her do it. Those two main people I have like seen do it. I did read, I don't know how many books, 65 books, somewhere around there. I'm reading like 2 more books, so I'm trying to hit 70. That's my like goal for it, and that's, to me, probably to a lot of other people, they're like, that's an easy number to hit, or like, you know, just it's, I don't know. But I'm kind of proud of myself that I even read that many books, you know, just in general. So I'm gonna pat myself on the shoulder for that one. So the first question is the most disappointing book of the year. So when I first started reading books, I kind of got a lot of recommendation from like a lot of other like book talkers, reviews, just like Goodreads. It's another place that I got a lot of information, a lot of book, you know, just like descriptions of. So I kind of went based off of a lot of that, if that makes sense. I don't know if anyone else has done it. I didn't know where to start with books. Maybe I should make a whole video about that. But yeah, I didn't know where to start with books. I didn't know like what was good, what was not. In the beginning of it, I was reading trying to like dive into like different books, different things, what was popular, what was good, what was not, you know, stuff like that. My disappointed read of this year was The Inmate. I do not own that book. I do not care for that book. I do not want that book. I will put it like right here, what it is. This entire book is just basically her coming back home from her hometown, her getting a job at this prison because she's a nurse and that's like the only job she can get. But what sucks is the guy that who was in that prison, she's the one that put him in. Okay, interesting. I thought this is gonna be like some like love interest. This is how you know I didn't know her book. This is like one of her like first books I completely read, and yeah, this whole just books just kind of goes on this journey of him getting out of prison, and then it just, I don't know. If you know the ending of this book, if you read this book and you like this book, I'm so sorry. I don't know, for some reason it just didn't click with me. I didn't like it. I didn't like the storyline of it, if that makes sense. I do like The Housemates and I do like her other books, but just that one kind of like threw me off. That one I just kind of like got an ick, kind of out of it. But yeah, that was my most disappointing reads. The next question is, what was an underdog book? So this year I really kind of just focused on like what was popular, what everyone was kind of talking about. I feel like once you dive into books, you just kind of want to read what everyone else is reading. But I did find one that I kind of like heard, but actually I don't really hear people talk about it at all. But it was, I have it. It was this one. It's The Fall of Bradley Reed. I remember reading this like very in the beginning of my like beginning of the year, reading this. It says, what if you actually had a hot FBI agent watching your search history while you plot your revenge on your ex? Her fiance left her at the altar. She moves out. She wants to get revenge and she wants to do this and that. But there's an FBI kind of like watching her. Not fully like her, but like her ex-fiance kind of thing. It's like, ah shit, I'm watching her search history. I'm trying to make sure like she doesn't do anything stupid, well, so she doesn't go to jail while I'm trying to figure out this whole like ex-fiance situation. So it's kind of like that, kind of stalkerish, but not really. He casually bumps into her and all this stuff just kind of like goes around, but I don't know, I thought it was cute. I really enjoyed it. I haven't heard people talk about it, but this is the third book. She has like 2 other ones, and I think a 4th one too. It says, what was an overhyped book you read? I feel like I read a lot of overhyped books. A lot of really popular books. I don't like the word overhyped, but I like popular books. And I think mine has to be Fourth Wing. This was also my first fantasy book as well, which is, I don't know, which is exciting. People, I feel like who has like read fantasy through and through, probably, I've heard people don't like it. But also Rebecca Hero says this is like the faint of heart of people who want to get into fantasy, who wants to dive into the world of fantasy. That's who she kind of like aimed towards, and I feel like I fit that category because I've never read a fantasy book. I've read her other books. I read 2 of her other books before I went into this one, and yeah, I don't know, I clicked so hard with this book. Like, the way I explain to people about this book is just get through chapter 15. Get to like light to chapter 15, and then maybe like 5 more chapters after that. So like do like 20 chapters, which is probably like fucking half the book. But I'm just saying, if you can get through the world build of this book and then go through Threshing, your life is just changed. Yeah, Iron Flame is another good one. Onyx Storm, I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for that book to come out. I am so waiting for it. Oh my god. A book that surprised you, and I think it has to be this one. It is The Seventh Husband of Evelyn Hugo, and I didn't think I was gonna like this book. I don't know what I thought about like going into this like book at all, but when I read it, when I got to the end, it was just so good. It took me on this whirlwind of just her life, her being, you know, in the Hollywood in the late, what is it, the 80s? Yeah, the 80s. And then just her talking about her experience of Hollywood. I don't know, everything just about this was just like chef's kiss. Everything about this book was so good. Plot twist at the end was amazing. Her life, just her journey of the LGBTQ community, and like just like everything that, you know, what it was back then was just like crazy. You honestly just follow her life, and then if you could just, when you're reading it, just try and like visualize the 80s of her going through life. I love. Your favorite book couples of the year. So this is like a series book. I do love every single character in this book, so take it with a grain of salt. It is Addicted to You. I read this. I read all of it. I feel like I talked about this. I'm not really much of a romance reader. There's just some romance book. People love the slow burn. I hate it. I hate it so much. I lose interest. It just like pisses me off. Like it's just like, it just angers me, and I just can't do it. But when I'm in a mood or a place and a time, I read books like this. I really want to get more into like romance books that isn't dark romance or fantasy or whatever. But I think this kind of like started my love for a little bit more of like romance books. But yeah, Lily and Lo, I love. It's characters or like a couple I just like root for so hard. Those two, Rose and Connor, Daisy and Reich, love it. If you haven't like picked this up, it's a long book, but it's such an easy read, and I love that. I would recommend it. I would, you know, just read the first 3 and then go from there. And then it makes you want to read, oh, I want to hear about this couple, and then you just keep reading until you go to the next couple, and then you just keep reading because you're like, fuck it, I need to finish it. And then you realize you're reading 10 books. yeah, that's what happened. But it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I really love Lily and Lo and what they gone through and how they survive at the very end. I loved it. Your favorite main character of the year? And it would have to be from this book, Powerless. Kai and Peyton are like the two characters I was rooting for. This is a YA fantasy. I didn't think I was gonna like it. I think I was so really deep into my like dark romance, and I'm like, me jumping into a YA without spice kind of threw me off. But the banter between them, I feel like sometimes it's hard to put like two characters that makes you want to feel a certain type of way in a book. I feel like you really have to like be in love with what you write to be, you know, like to be in a book like this without like spice and it to be YA. I don't know, I feel like it's like harder for some reason. But yeah, Peyton and Kai are, I don't know, their banter between them, the character development, her being someone without power. It's literally, she's powerless in a world where you have to fight with powers. It's just and then Kai is just Kai. But also, I think what did it for me, this one I read an audiobook. I know for a fact. I read this through and through with the audiobook. I loved it. I did my laundry in the shower. Like, that was the book that I'm just like, like, about the ending threw me off. I'm just gonna say, if you know, you know what happened at the end of the tournament. Yeah, it was sad. I want to read the next book, but I'm kind of sad that I spoiled the ending of the next book. That's really making me not want to read it. If you know, what was the happiest book you read this year? I feel like I didn't really read like happy-go-lucky books that much. If that makes sense. But I did read The Do-Over, and The Do-Over was like really cute. It was, I don't know, this is my only Lynn Painter book I've read. What is the saddest book you read this year? I feel like I read a lot of sad books. Or really just like, books. But I will say, this is a book that every time, for some reason, I read the last few chapters of this book, I just bawled. Like, completely bawled my eyes out. I would not read this book for a week. And I'm like, I can pick it back up. I'll read the last few chapters again, and then I'll just sit there on my couch crying. But it is The Last Letter. Also by Rebecca Yarros. This was one of like the first books I've read. I think this was the first book I read of her. And then I think I read The Things We Left Unfinished. I have another book. And I have another book coming from her. Your favorite cover of the year? And it would maybe have to be this one. I'm trying to think. I have like really cute covers of like different books. I just haven't read them yet. So I don't want to like include them. If that makes sense. Yeah. But it would have to be Light Lark. I really do enjoy this cover. I think it's really pretty. I would put the special edition in there, but I feel like that's kind of like unfair for everybody. Light Lark. I feel like it's really pretty. This book is also really good if you wanna read it. Yeah. Lilac. A book you haven't stopped thinking about. And it would be If We Were Villains. I also read this one on Audible. This one was really good. I don't know. I really enjoyed the storytelling. I really enjoyed the mystery behind what happened. Guy goes to prison. His name is Oliver. And he's been in prison for I think like 10 years. And they finally said like, okay, like, I guess we don't have enough to convict you. Like, you're free to go. This sheriff comes by on his, like, I think it's like this last day of being in prison before he's like, you know, out. And he's kind of like, hey, you know, I'm not with the police anymore. I got a security job. I got more of like a low-key job for my family. Can you tell me what happened 10 years ago? So this whole story goes back 10 years ago of what actually happened at that college and why he confessed to what he did. So you kind of go back to his college, and he just talks to you about his whole journey of what happened during that college years, of his friendship, and just like everything in general of just what happened. If you want just like a really good storytelling, thriller, suspense book, this one. Also, I don't hear a lot of people talking about that one either. Book with the most unique concept you've read this year. I still need to read Thunderhead, but this is Scythe. This is the first book, Scythe. I need to read Thunderhead. And this one was kind of unique. There's these people who are Scythe who come to your house and like, or like just actually not even to your house, just anywhere, and just like kill you. Like, it's your time to die. You must die. So it's like that, but like you can live up to like 100 years. You can go back to like this machine where it can make you young again. But these guys, like, they're able to like kill you. They're the only people who are able to kill you. Okay, so this guy, not this one, but like a Scythe, I think it's this one, I don't fucking know. Scythe, yeah, a Scythe chooses like these two young princesses to become the new like young Scythe, and those two go through trial and error to like, you know, they go through tests, they go through trials, they go through errors, they go through everything, but they're competing against each other. And somehow, some way, this guy dies. So now they have new princesses they're going to. So like halfway through, like you're following like these two characters like train differently to become a Scythe, and only one of them is gonna get it, and then the other person dies, if that makes sense. A book you read this year that you would reread. And I feel like if I had to pick any of these books that wasn't like Fourth Wing or like a heavy type of book, it would be Checkmate. I don't know why, I really enjoyed this book. This book was so cute. It's about chess. It's about her falling in love with chess all over again. It's her competing in the world champion like chess tournaments. It's her falling in love. It's YA. It's cute. It's everything you kind of want. It's boy falls in love first, her being kind of like it's the grumpy and sunshine type of book. I don't know why I like books that the female character is grumpy and the guy is like sunshine, because I feel like you see a lot of guys being grumpy and the girls being the sunshine, but I like the opposite of it sometimes in certain books, and this is like one of them, and I really enjoyed it. Goodreads 2024 reading goal reflection and reading goal for 2025. What is my reading goal? I think my reading goal was like 70, 75. So my reading goal was 75, and I read 67 books, which isn't bad. I don't hate myself for it. I think that's like really good. I don't know. But yeah, I read 65 books and my reading goal was 75. Can I achieve it? Maybe. I can't promise anything. I think my reading goal for next year is probably maybe like 50 books, which is low. It's pretty low. And I don't mind it, because I feel like next year, I don't know how next year is going to be. I don't know how life is going to be next year. But if I could read 50 and more, I would be the happiest person in the world. So that is my goal. Book you wish you got to this year. And it would have to be this one. I did try reading it. It is A Court in Thorns and Roses. I did try to get through this book, but I think I was so stuck on Fourth Wing that I couldn't like read it. So this is my top priority to read next year as well. I've heard so many people talk about it. I've seen so many celebrities talk about it. YouTubers talk about it. It's just like one of those books that like people fall in love with. Probably not this one. People fall in love with the second one, I've heard. Like the first one was like, oh yeah, it's cute, but the second one, and then the third one, and it just keeps going. And then like the little novella, it's like but yeah, this series I would love to get through, like if I can. What will you prioritize in 2025? I don't know. I feel like I just want to read books that I'm just going to enjoy, that I'm going to love. And I want to get through a lot more books that I didn't get through this year. There's a lot of books here that I want to pick up. There's like, what is it? Lesson in Chemistry I want to read. I haven't read. Just for the Summer, people have talked about this book so much, and I still haven't read it. What else? I do want to finish series. So like Scythe, I want to read Thunderhead. I want to finish reading, what is it? Yeah, Reckless and like Night Band. Like I don't know. I want to finish series that's out, or finish before I start a new series. Thorn and Glass is also a book I think I talked about. I think I posted in my last video that I had like 4 hours left on my audiobook. I would love to finish that, and that whole series. That's a long series, but I want to get through it. I know I can get through it. I told myself if I can get through Addicted, I can get through Thorn and Glass. But yeah, no, there's just like, I don't know, there's just like certain books that I just want to read, and I just hope that it makes me happy, and that's it. But yeah, that is all the questions I have written down. Hopefully, if you like any of these books that you've been wanting to read, I would definitely recommend it. Only book I haven't read was this one, but every other book I have read and I really have enjoyed, apart from some of the books that I mentioned that I didn't like at all. But yeah, that's really it. This is my end of the book tag. I am filming this on December 16th, so yeah, basically the end of the year. I have like 2 more weeks maybe, and that's it. But yeah, that is all the books I have for you. Thank you so much for watching, and let me know if you have any book recommendations or any of the books I mentioned that you've enjoyed, even the ones I told you I hated. But yeah, I don't know, that's really it. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.